Cool. This next question, simple but quite deep. Worried about my weight.
Yeah.
So there's this young girl, 16, and she says she weighs around 50 kg.
Right.
Is that something to be worried about?
Well, we were trying to do the maths on this earlier, innit? So I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm round about, let's say, 76, 77 kg. In terms of a man, I'm light, but not because I'm skinny. It's more, sort of, low body fat, athletic build. So I find it quite difficult to put that into context, really. I mean, you do have, you've got to factor in height, and stuff like that as well. But I'm imagining if she's worried about it, she might feel bigger than the average, let's say. It's probably fair to say, right? Short answer is, I mean, what is it? How exactly is the question worded again?
Is this something to worry about? The fact that she is ever
Short answer, no. Be yourself, know yourself, love yourself. If it's a health thing, as in you're talking about obesity that's affecting health, I'm talking about your breathing. If it's affecting your breathing, if it's affecting your sleeping, if it's affecting your concentration, if you have an unhealthy relationship with food, you comfort eat, you don't have a balanced diet. If that's the case, yes, worry about it, because we're talking about your health, we're talking about your well-being. If it's a case of living up to societal norms, standards and expectations of beauty, you've got to be a size 0 or whatever it is nowadays, or you've got to look like Kim K, or you've got to look like Taylor Swift, then no, don't worry about it. Because as I said, know yourself, love yourself, be yourself. Do you know what I mean?
This was an interesting question because of that last part you just said. Because I think this is probably where this stems from. Not necessarily about actually medically something to worry about, but this seems more mental. More of what society has put on. And again, drawing from my times, I remember days months where I would hate the color of my skin.
Right, yeah.
Because I don't know if it's the same nowadays, but I don't even want to say back in the days because I'm 25. I'm not even that old.
You're getting old, Jeff.
But back in my day, especially primary school, secondary school, being black was not the one.
Yeah.
Being mixed race was the one.
Yeah. Even back in my day.
So a lot, and I'm dark. So it wasn't just that I'm brown, I'm dark. And so then you get the name calls and you get the comparisons. And on the outside is very like, shut up, man. But at home, it eats at you.
Internalize it, innit?
Yeah, because and when you're young, and this is where I see this question coming from.
Yeah.
Social currency matters.
Big time.
It exchanges for some big stuff. It exchanges with the pretty girl. It exchanges with the good grades. It exchanges with these open opportunities.
I'll just quickly throw in though, I think a lot of the things it exchanges with are very superficial. Yeah.
100%.
So they're big, but they're superficial. Yeah.
And that's not something that's grasped at that age. Because, like, people that are listening that are around that age group would understand, school is like a prison. And it's also like your family. So it's a weird one where you're locked in, but eventually you're locked in, hopefully, with people you like.
Yeah.
And so, superficial outside when I step out of the school premises, but as soon as I step back in, this currency matters. And so, I remember my skin color, and I remember the spots I used to have. Terrible acne when I was younger.
Right.
And that's even worse because it's almost like a deformed face. It can get, I mean,
by social standards,
yeah, the acne was It was like spots on spots. It was bad.
Yeah.
And so, I guess the topic that I'm trying to bring out is just looking at yourself compared to the social standard. How does someone deal with that?
Yeah, I think, okay, so, yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Because even me, like, again, being darker skinned, comparatively speaking, I faced a lot of that. Certainly in primary school. I mean, it was like racism levels. Do you know what I mean? I was getting attacked and I'd get into fights. You know, secondary school, I faced it a bit as well. And again, you know, the mixed race people got all the love. Shout out my boy Barrow. Like, man just stole bare girls from me, like bare. And Barrow, you know. Shout out my boy Barrow. But yeah, so I get it definitely from the skin tone side of things. But I think the thing is, if you feel healthier, like if you're living a healthier lifestyle, you feel healthier, you feel better within yourself anyway. And the moment you start to feel better within yourself, people respond to you differently. Even if you are a bit on the bigger side, physically, people respond to you differently. Do you know what I mean? Even me, like I've always been quite slim. You know, the hardcore Jamaican parents, fast food was a no-no. You know what I mean? You didn't leave the dinner table until you cleaned the plate. There were always vegetables on our plates. And we were eating corned beef and tuna. It's not like we were eating gourmet, but there was always some corn, there was always some cabbage, there was always vegetables on our plate. Do you know what I mean? There were always fruits in the house. And we weren't rich. We grew up poor. But my parents made good dietary choices for us, and they made sure, I don't know how they did it, because they didn't sit us down and lecture us. It was just like, finish your food. Oh, yeah, they go, sit down. Do you know what I mean? It was simple things, but so I've always been on the slimmer side of things. Weight has never been an issue for me.
When you make those, I think with a lot of this person's issue, when I think about my issues that I had, the theme is a lack of control. And this is why what you just said hits home so much, because once you begin to actually start reigning in control, especially with the easy things, what you eat, what you don't eat, what you drink, what you don't drink, what you do physically, and all that stuff, even if it did nothing, like physically, the fact that you now have control,
100%,
over things that come in and out of your body, will mentally help you. And I think that is such a big step, even more than just the weight. In any area that you're struggling in, you realize that inside of that is control. Like
100%.
There's a lack of control. You feel like someone's overly controlled, and so the practical steps is how can you kind of bring back some of that control in your own life. And then the second thing I wanted to talk about was linked to the social currency. That the thing about currency is that someone needs it, or it can be exchanged somewhere.
And just quickly to add, someone else controls it. So to bring it back to the point of control as well.
Exactly. Which links to what I was going to say next, is that you want to find where the currency is valuable. And so this is where maybe branching outside of school might help, because if the currency inside of school is weight, or being overweight doesn't exchange well, maybe you might need to find a club or another group of friends that it does exchange well, just so that you can see value in the coin. If I have £1 and I go to Zimbabwe, I'm not gonna get anything, because it doesn't mean anything. If I come back to England though, well, it's £1, so I ain't getting much here either.
To the pound shop.
I ain't getting much here either, but you get the point that depending on where you are, the currency matters or doesn't matter. So I think you also want to try and find it, even within school. It might be people, your friends. It might be some teachers. There has to be someone that 100%. You can exchange this for value.
No, 100%. And I like what you're saying there about control, because the thing is with exercise now, food as well, but exercise is when you've got like a nice little routine, and it doesn't have to be, yes, I'm into calisthenics and stuff, but it doesn't have to be pushing yourself crazy. It could be going for a walk regularly. It could finding something at your level that pushes you. When you've got a nice little routine together and you do it regularly and consistently, you feel great. You know what I mean? You feel great, and you do get back a sense of control. And the thing is as well, these comments, let's say people are making comments, I would imagine this young lady feels that way because of maybe some comments people have made. Again, they're in control of those comments, but you're in control of how you respond and how you process it. So with just having a healthier lifestyle overall, and this isn't to say that she leads a particularly bad lifestyle. I am speaking generally, because obviously we don't know her personally, but when you've got a nice little exercise routine, you've got a nice diet going, and you're in control of that, you then develop control in other areas. For example, if someone makes a comment, it's just like, no, I'm not going to respond to that. It just bounces off me because I know what I do and I'm in control of what I do. I'm the master of what I do. Do you know what I mean? I take care of myself. I ensure that my well-being's on point. I make sure that I eat well and I go for a walk every day. I'm in control of that. So your comments, they don't even mean anything.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it gives you that power back.
And even linked, and the last thing, linked to that is ambassadors. If I had someone that I could relate to that had gone through what I'd gone through, it would make the journey easier.
Yeah.
So being dark and knowing, I think I don't know if it's the same nowadays, so I don't know if it'd be worth saying, but what I found out later is that these are all just phases. At first I thought like I probably would never get married because the way they're hitting off black people is crap, no one likes us. Now go older and all of a sudden everyone likes us,
and it's mad, isn't it?
It just switches and all of a sudden mixed race people are overrated. And the black and the better.
No disrespect, you know what I mean?
But you know, I never would have thought that switch was going to happen. And even being African, at one point, being Caribbean was the thing. Now all of a sudden,
being African's the thing.
Azonto and all these things now. Afrobeats is now picking up a trend. These things, if I would have known that, right, the currency is just not where you're at now, but it would have helped me be not just make it, but be proud. Like be proud to be black where you are, be proud to be African where you are, because at one point it's going to exchange to something valuable. And I'd say the same for this person. Again, health wise, there's obviously a different thing. But like, not everyone is a size 5. And so you want to find your ambassadors that promote a healthy lifestyle, but just so happen to also be on the bigger side. And, that can help you be proud where you're at.
100%. And I think, one thing I really appreciate about kind of social media and just our current age, because people bash social media a lot. And I think there are things that do need to be called out about it, but there are some great things about it. And one of the things I think is the way it is so diverse. You've got people from different walks of life, different countries, different cultural backgrounds, different weight, it's kind of different weights and different styles. And there are some genuine people out there, as you said, who are kind of ambassadors. And whether they nominate themselves to be or not, they might be thinking, do you know what? I've got a bit of a story, I've got a journey, and I want to encourage others. Or they might just be a healthy person enjoying life and sharing their story. However they've come to that point of being on social media or being involved in, it might be sports or something else, you can find people out there, people that look like you, people that sound like you, people that come from where you've come from, and they're a positive role model and somebody you can look to and draw lessons from, draw perspectives from, and in some cases validation. I would still say your number one point of validation is yourself. You know, I mean, me personally, being a Christian, I draw from God first. But, you know, depending on, your sort of your worldview or whatever, you have to be top of the tree before anyone else. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to think, when you look in the mirror, you have to like what you see. You know, you have to like who you are before anyone else gives you the nod or gives you the pat on the back. You give it to yourself first. Anything that comes after that is a bonus. But yeah, there's a plethora of ambassadors, athletes, people just living well, people living healthy, and they're good, positive role models. So yeah, I would encourage, you know, this young person as well, try to find someone like that, or some people like that.
All right, well, we might as well not lie. This is an outro. You are at the end.
Yeah.
And we want you to do what every YouTuber says. Like, comment, subscribe,
Share.
share.
Share's a big one, personally.
It is.
But
We're trying to grow something. This is this common room thing is basically we're trying to help common people get access to elite information
for free.
for free
At this stage.
for now.
For free for now, yeah. I like that.
But we're really trying to help. We both have a burden. Russell, all three of us have a burden just to see normal people get access to things that only money would really get. Big money would only really get you.
Absolutely.
So if you like what you're hearing, please share. Help this.
Yeah.
Help this out big time. Or if you've got a question, a thought, a comment, feel free to DM us, email us.
Yeah, get in touch.
If you're brave enough to do it with your name on it, comment down below. If not, then we got an email, tcrpod@outlook.com, or Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Our handle is tcrukpod.
I'm also going to throw in as well, send in a voice note. Like if you want to send a question or again, a comment or anything of that nature, then send in a voice note, you know, like you would. Record it and send it to us, and we will actually feature your voice note on the pod as well, and then respond. Do you know what I'm saying? So it would be great to hear from you guys a bit more live and direct as well.
Cool. All right, we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, see you then.